So, you want to paint your Gunpla, but you can't use an airbrush for any reason. Worry not, because today we are learning how to hand paint your kit and get an amazing result. I have finally been working on my master grade Gouf again, and what's a better moment to show you guys how I did it. This tutorial will be a bit lengthy, because I want it to be accessible to beginners, and I'll cover in detail everything you need, give you bits of advice about possible mistakes, and more. I will be adding timestamps for you, to just skip to the part you need the most if you want. So, without any further ado, let's start. Let's see what you will need, starting from the basics. Your colors. I suggest using acrylic paints, they are easy to source and use. There is no need for chemical thinners, just some good old water. You can choose any brand you fancy, there are great options available like Vallejo or Citadel Colors. My choice is a Chinese brand called SM that I like for a couple of reasons. First of all, they are really cheap for their quality, and secondly, it's a really thin paint, almost liquid, and that really helps avoiding streak marks. We will also use a gloss coat to protect our paint and a black filler to panel line. It's similar to a wash, but slightly less liquid. You also want to get yourself a water palette. It will help so much in thinning your colors. There are some different options that works pretty much the same. My choice is the one from the SPA. As brushes, apart from a regular one, I like to use a flat tip that works really well for those big flat armor parts. Optional, but suggested, is a painting station with clamps, which is really helpful for drying out your parts and spraying the flat coating at the end of the process. Little pro tip: if you have trouble finding a good anchor point for the clamps, just create one with some good old blue tack. As Topcoat, I will use the Mr. Hobby flat Topcoat, and I have really good results with it. My only issue is how small is this can. You then want some Q-tips, water, a whole box of time, and a bag of patience. Trust me, painting your kit is not a quick afternoon job. As one of my subscribers said, quality takes time. Now that we covered what you will need, let's see how to prepare your part for the painting. First of all, it needs to be completely finished, of course. You removed all the knobs, did your scribing, and there is nothing left apart from painting. At this point, you want to give it a light sanding. This will create a rough surface for the primer to stick on. Just remember to brush or wash away any residual dust, and start with a nicely clean surface. Let's now take a small detour and talk about how to choose your primer. The main choices are white, grey and black, and they will all give a different shade to your color. It's a good idea to use a test model, like the Master Grade SP00N from Bandai. Beautiful model, by the way. I have to admit, I have been using these bootlegs that weirdly come with my food deliveries. The restaurants around must be really into model kits or something, who knows. Anyway, you can see here I did some testing to check which primer is better for my model. Blue has a pretty good pigmentation, so there's a slight difference. I still decided to use white to have the kit as bright as possible. You can also try different colors to decide which one to use and if they look good together. Let's now prepare our water palette. You want to add some water to the sponge inside. How much really depends on the thickness of your paint. You will need some trial and error to get the perfect amount. Always use your SP00N to test it. For example, as I said, this brand is really thin already, and if I add too much water, my colors will get ruined in a few minutes. So I want my sponge to be just moist, not dripping wet. You then want to add your paper. Some palettes have one layer, some like the DSPA 2. Make sure it gets nicely humid and then you can start. Now, time for priming. Shake really well your color. If you're as lazy as me, there are some tools available that can help you out. I named mine Sir Mix-a-Lot and I absolutely love it. Look how it goes. Then add a tiny bit of paint to your palette and use your brush to spread it a bit. Doing this will mix the paint and the water, resulting in a good thinning. We will use this technique with all the colors. Then apply a coat of primer. It does not need to be even. Once again, a rough surface is best for your paint to stick nicely. Just make sure there's no excess, especially on the corners and edges. Now we can start painting, and we need to follow a simple rule. Start with the darkest color and move to the brightest one for a simple reason. It will be much more easy to fix any mistake. If you're like me and are suffering from trembling hands, you'll get some no matter what. I will thin it a bit with a humid brush, as we did with the primer, directly on the palette, and then proceed to apply the first coat. You do not want your brush to be full, grab just a tiny bit of paint. It will look terrible, and that's what we want. We're using a really thin color and applying the less we can. The coverage can't be even with the first pass. Even out the paint, going always in the same direction. Make sure the corners and edges are okay without any excess. And do not, I repeat, do not touch the paint when it starts to dry out. Now it's time for the second coat. We apply it in the other direction, following basically what is a cross pattern. You should see now how it's starting to come together. Depending on the color, it can take more or fewer layers to get the result you want. With this blue it took me around 4 coatings in total. And that's how it looks like once it's done. We then repeat the process with a lighter blue, following the same rules. Nice thin paint, not a lot on the brush, and using a cross pattern until we have a nice and even surface. Once we are done, we will then use again the dark blue to touch up any mistakes. Being a darker color, it will be pretty quick. And that's the result. Pretty good, isn't it? Let's now apply the gloss coating. This will protect the paint from the panel lining and the water decals. There's not a lot to say, just make sure you cover the whole part and be careful. It tends to make some bubbles here and there, just pop them if you see any. The gloss coat will also enhance any little mistake you did and will make the paint look pretty uneven. There's no need to panic, it's totally normal. We will fix it with a flat top coat later on. Now, give it time to dry completely. Depending on how much you put, it can take up to 1 hour. No need to rush. You can use this time to do some other interesting things, like for example, like and subscribe to this video. And if you're finding this guide interesting, go watch my other tutorials. Now that the coat is nicely dry, let's panel line with a black filler. No need to thin it, it's already liquid enough. I will be using a smaller brush for this. You now need to be really careful. You will need to carefully paint inside the lines, trying not to make any mistakes. No, I'm just messing with you. We put all that coating for a reason. Just paint it, making sure the color actually gets inside the panel line. That's it. Once it's dried out, just get a Q-tip, wet it with some water, pass it on some absorbing paper and gently rub away the excess. It's like magic. And that's perfect. To finish, just spray the flat top coat. It will even out a small imperfection and protect all of your hard work. Just make sure to let it dry, and if by any chance it looks a bit grainy, just spray some more. It should even out the surface. And look at that! I so forgot about the water decals. Let's fix it and spray a small extra layer. And there we are. Let me know in the comments below if you have any question or if you want to talk about your techniques. As always, there are different ways to do everything and there is no right or wrong. Anyway, I'm really happy about this model and how it's turning out. I hope to finish it soon. Thanks for watching and see you soon.